Having a dinner party doesn't mean to say you have to start swinging from the chandelier, culinarily speaking. One of my celebratory regulars is loin of pork with bay leaves. It's simple, but it's elegant. And when it's finished cooking and it's carved and it's laid out to cover a huge plate, circled with bay leaves, it looks so wonderful and welcoming and abundant. And that's what I always want from food. What I'm really thinking about here is maximum flavour for minimum effort, useful when you're cooking for a lot of people, which is why I'm not even bothering to peel this onion, just slicing it. It's true, the skin will give a lovely golden colour to the gravy later. The real reason I'm not peeling it is just out of laziness rather than to use it as a dye. This is going to go into the pan, but first some lovely garlic-infused olive oil. You can use ordinary olive oil with garlic, but this is quicker and it means you don't get any burnt shards of garlic later. Now the onion, my floor of flavour and floor for the pork. On top of that, bay leaves. Lovely fresh bay leaves. Use dried if you can't get fresh. And then this wonderful loin of pork on its little flavour platform. I asked the butcher to give me the bones he'd taken out, and I'm plonking them here because they will give such a wonderful porky flavour to the gravy, and also because I do like to make sure I get my cook's treat. Now the rub, which I love, and it's just more garlic-infused olive oil, peppercorns, and some dried bay leaves, just simply because it's easier to sort of crunch them down. Final touch, some salt, nice coarse salt, beautiful. And that's it, just in a moderately hot oven for about just under 2 hours. An hour and 3/4 is when I'll look at it. This is perfect. Close the oven. It's just that wonderful golden burnish colour, which comes from, in part, these bones, and also because of the onion skin. Let's take the meat and try and strain out these juices without causing major damage. Get every last bit of juice out of the onions. I think of this as gravy, but it's not normal gravy in that I'm not using flour to thicken it. All it is those wonderful oniony pork juices, which I'm going to boil down, and 150 ml of water, and about the same amount of wine. But you don't have to be precise. You can't tell, until I've tasted it, I can't tell what I need more of. Just hope I don't need less of anything. My special tasting spoon. And of course, by letting it boil for a bit, you can also reduce it to make it thicker and slightly more syrupy. Just while I'm waiting for the juices to reduce a bit more, a really spectacularly good part of the whole exercise. My spare ribs. Very delicious. Now for my salad. Parsley is the first and major ingredient, and I'm not using the parsley as a herb, but as the main ingredient. You know, I want bulk. Right. Perfect. Second ingredient, red onion. Easiest way to peel that, just take the ends off. Cut in half, take off the skin. And just cut in half moons. Looks beautiful that way. Rain these down. And my third ingredient, capers. Really balance these two incredibly well. These have been packed in salt, which does make them really too salty, so I've been soaking them in water. You can use capers that have been stored in vinegar. They won't be as good as this, but if you can't find salted capers, do not worry. Lovely. These are salty enough. I'm not going to add any more salt. Olive oil. Lemon. Not much lemon. Once you make this salad, you find an excuse to make it over and over again. Not that you need an excuse. Pleasure is reason enough. Carving's not my strong point, so be kind. But what you want are lovely thin slices, which you then pile up in the centre of a huge plate. And then, although I don't normally go in for prinking, what I do is a final Napoleonic flourish, which is a circle of bay leaves all around the piled up pork on the plate. It looks wonderful. A bit of gravy ladled on now will stop the meat drying out if it has to sit for a bit. And if it has to sit for a lot, then just tent it with some tin foil. And then the rest of the gravy you can keep in a sauce boat and people can just help themselves on the table.